Welcome back everybody. This arrow is kind of like 10 years old, is from Alibow. And what you see when you look close, here it's thicker, here it gets thinner, and here it gets thinner. It's a so-called barreled arrow. So Alibow was selling them really long ago as wood shafts, and I really loved them because the flight of barreled arrows is completely different than when you have an arrow which is from front to end the same diameter. Don't know why, but they just, aerodynamics or what have you, they just fly definitely better. So these were the ones I got, what I said, already 10 years ago. I think this is the last one I have because wood arrows break so easily. And I always thought, my goodness, if we could have this in carbon. A few years ago, I was at a bow fair in Wels in Austria, and I met my friend Klaus Schüssler there from Yara, and he gave me one barreled carbon shaft and one tapered. Tapered means it was thick here and it thins out to the end. And so I'd have fun with it, but I don't know where I put them. These two are just gone. So I can't say anything, but Yara has them. But now in China, Alibow gets you covered with a barreled carbon arrow. So the barrel is not so obvious as with a wood arrow. When you see this, the arrow is here a little thicker and thins out, and with the wood shaft you see it way thicker, and when it thins out, but still I can tell you 5.7, and the thickest part 7.4 ish, I guess, yeah, 7.4, and then it goes back to the nock, and there it has 6.2, and I think you can fit still. No. So they have now pin nocks on them, because you can't fit normal nocks obviously in these ones here. Then you get them in different lengths. So for now, Alibow offers them in, let's see what we have here. They gave me centimeters, but I just can't deal centimeters. You know how we know arrows, measure arrows, from the beginning of the tip to the center of the nock, and that's exactly 30 inches, exactly 30 inches. So the shaft is a little shorter, so you get exactly 30 inches to the bottom of the nock with these ones. The next ones, they're a little thicker obviously, so that the outer diameter is a little thicker. Here we get exactly 32 inches, which is nice. So this is my most used arrow, I guess. And then we have these thick ones here. So there you see the barreling a little less because the arrows are quite long. And they are. .36 inches. But here, with these ones, are these even barreled ones? Let's check. So the 36-inch ones, 0, start at 7.47 and go up to 7.5, so not that much, 7.6, 7.6, 7.4, 7.4, so just a little bit, but still 36 inches. So, but they are not so pronounced in the long diameter, so the shorter ones have more pronunciation. So what you need, of course, then to consider, you need different tips or matching tips for these ones, and you need to set the pin nocks. But look at this, Alibow gets you already covered with fast shooting pin nocks for that one. That's really cool. Alibow sent me a bunch of their nocks. As you know, they have now different nocks. Not for the thin ones, they are not pin nocks. They are regular nocks, as you know them. These are the normal fast shooting nocks. They use slightly different ones. So one could say this is the Y nock, but it's quite different. Then they have this wide one here, and then of course they have this one here where you grab them nicely on the side. So these flat ones, I guess these 3 different versions in different colors. A video about these knocks is coming to another time. So, and as said, it's nothing new. When you check old descriptions, they were always using, or often using, barreled arrows because they knew that it's a better arrow flight. When you see the modern flight archers, most of these flight arrows are very thin here, and they get a little thicker, then they get thin at the end again, because the aerodynamics are just way better than with a straight stick. So, shall we shoot them? Price-wise and stuff, I don't know yet. When I was last time checking, there was no information on the website yet. But you just check on the website and there will be, if they are not on there, they will be on there soon with prices too. And I guess the prices will be moderate, so nothing to complain. These are the 32-inch ones, and I guess you can have them then in different spines. So this is a good question. Yeah, it's hard to say, most probably because the spine is now, of course, different. Oh, and they are quite stiff, holy moly. And they're 510 grain. And the shorter ones, the 30-inch ones, are 480 grain. So, and then you still can play most probably a bit with the arrow tip weight and maybe with the insert. So, but it's a new system. But the most important, I of course shot them at home a few times already because I wanted to see how they work. And the thing is, due to the nature that they taper here down, you shoot them in one of these foam targets, and when you want to pull them out, it's so easy because they get thinner, so they don't stick like a normal arrow, and then the whole foam grabs them and it's hard to get them out. They just, you can remove them from a target so easy, and that's just another really nice benefit, in my opinion, having these arrows. But now let's see how they fly. As they are quite stiff, we need a little heavier poundage. This is it's the new Quiver 2025, the normal one, not the war bow. Review will come. Awesome bow. It's 55 pounds at 32, so you know already 32-inch max draw. These arrows are now 30. Ooh, to the right. Holy moly, quite stiff. Nice. 32 inches. Ooh, still a bit to the right, so to get used to it, they're a slight different flight pattern, I would say. But once you get the hang of it and you know what they are doing, you just compensate for that. Oh, and this bow is a beast. And you can have even now the war bow, which I will get soon, and then they go, this one goes I think to 60 pounds and the war bow to 80 or 100 pounds or something. So incredible stuff, and this bow is just awesome. And now what I wanted to show you, come with me. It was now 50 pounds in one of these really sticky targets. And look at this. Easy peasy. Almost with 2 fingers. See that? So easy to get the arrows out of this target. As a comparison, I shoot now a Taurus arrow, a normal one. Normal and straight. It's 420, it's a little lighter, but not by much. Oh, nice. So this bow, awesome. And now the 32-inch one. So now I show you, which is for me really mind-blowing. So this one, Taurus. This one. That this makes such a difference, I would have never thought. Let's see if we see the arrow flight a little nicer. with the 32-inch ones. I didn't see anything, but they stick straight in the target. Such a beast, this bow. Oh, scratched. They still go a little to the right, so it's really a little different. So you might need to change your shooting style a little bit. What can I say? These arrows are just incredible how they fly. You need to adjust a little bit. So for me, they go now a little to the right. Maybe they are really extremely stiff, so they feel like 200 or something. But heavy enough for even this KU one with 55 pounds. So it's not a problem. With these nocks, you know, you can do still your whatever fast loading technique you want to do. Even this one might work. Kind of Mamluk, but they make it for their technique. I show you maybe with the quiver. Maybe. Nice, but you know. Now I have these long ones here. 300, 300, and the red ones are, they're all 300. Don't know if they're even tapered. Yes, but they look like other. They look like they get a little thicker in the middle. Now we need a proper bow for that, huh? Ladies and gentlemen, the Yara 3, but this is the version 1. They just released now version 1.1, which is just right now in the decorating process, and I hope next week will be shipped to me. So it doesn't make sense to review this one. It's already replaced by the new one, which has slightly different geometrical parts here. But for today, for shooting the longer arrows, this one will just do the job. And it's a beautiful bow. Even this version is just hoo-ha! Oh, at the beginning, you see this devastating on the target. At the beginning he always made a little noises, which freaked me out, but now it should be fine. What I like is now the handle here, it feels really good. You have a little racekin on both sides. You have this synthetic, is it cork or birch bark? Whatever. Nice big string bridges. Everything is here reinforced. So this is a beast, and it has 50 pounds at 35, so it's not too heavy. Just right for these arrows. And you see the brace height is almost big enough that you don't harm your feathers when you knock the normal way. So of course there are different ways. We know that way you hold your arrow away until you pre-draw and yada yada yada. Yeah, this is too much for this target. So I need to get another target when I test the other Yara. Kicks a little, but it's a mancho. But these arrows, look how they fly and how they stick in the target. Precise, powerful. I don't want to hurt now the other arrows. So it kicks a little bit, yes, of course, but hey, you know. Shall we shoot yeah, we should. One of these ones, they were a little unpredictable going to the right. Let's see what with the Yara this 32-inch arrow will do. Still goes to the right. And yes, Zack, I forgot again, I should have taken some rings. So today I only have the leather protection from Mark Roberts with me on both hands, just in case you want to know again. Last time I mentioned it 3 times in the video, and still 3 people were asking me in the comments, what's the leather protection? So you didn't watch the video. Watch the video. Such a joy to shoot this bow. With these arrows, this is just a perfect combination. So if you order the new Yara, I can only recommend that. Get directly these arrows with it. Use a voucher code ARMIN10. You see that? Normal grip. High risk grip. You get more out of it and you don't feel the mancho kick in your hand. It's quite as simple as that. And for the rest, you gain a little more when you lean into the bow and you drop the rear elbow and you still shoot nice groups. That's just incredible. This bow is awesome. I can't wait to get the new version 1.1. And still, I want to show off now, but if you look there, it doesn't zoom in. Okay, you see that? Then you get directly this nice hulu quiver. Of course, always make sure that you rotate your nocks in your position you need to have, otherwise on a 7-second horse you will not manage. And second, somebody mentioned last time that I shoot this one wrong because I was going like this and I would touch the horse. And I said, did you see any horse? I did not. So, but hey, people always find something. And you know the version of the Chinese, you come here, zack, knock, and you can do it even on horseback, so it's not a problem. Goes high. See that? You grab the next one. With one of my favorite bows right now. One of a cheaper one. Not accurate at all for now. Should have shot in, but I don't like, so you just see what I'm shooting. Zack, zack, and I don't have a knocking point. So this one would make sense having a knocking point, then you knock a little lower, slide up to the knocking point, or you knock higher and you slide down. So whatever works for you. Awesome bow, but it's not about this bow. It's not about this quiver. You just saw that I could shoot these barreled arrows nicely from this quiver. So get the quiver, get the arrows, and get the Yara, or get this K1, or get the Sahin, get something. It's just what Alibow right now is pumping out is nothing short than incredible. And the nice thing is, these barreled arrows, they stick just nicely in it, but not as tight as normal ones. So it's easier to get them in and easier to get them out, obviously. So my friend No Horse was harmed in this video. It's just, so the short ones. Still see me? I hope so. Oh, that was a bad shot, you saw that one. Focus on shooting, not talking. Oh. Thought it's not getting so hot today, but it's hot. So, that's what you get. Amazing bows. Amazing quivers. And you get, that what still amazes me, that to pull out the arrows of this target can be a pain in the ass. Even especially on the side where it's still dense. But they just get out so easily. So, 30 inches, 32 inches, nice barreled arrows by Alibow. I hope they have them soon on the website. And you get the 36 inch ones. They are just, even quality wise, you hear that, They don't feel like a plastic elastic. They sound almost like aluminum or something. So this really high dense carbon, really great, and I am sure the price will be acceptable. And then just go for them. That's the future. You need to maybe adjust a little bit depending on what bow and what spine you shoot there. But once you have it set, you shoot nice groups like I did now. This is not a problem, but they are just awesome. There you have it, the barreled arrows by Alibow. Really worth checking them out. I'm really not completely sure if the long one is now barreled, but it was measuring in the middle a little thicker than out there. So I don't know. But they're still incredible. And at least you can use normal nocks on the long ones. And this one 30 inches and 32 inches. I think it fits most horse archer needs and most needs anyway. So for me 32 is just fine. 30 sometimes depending on the bow, and then you get even this fast loading nocks already. They work just nice. So they have a nice deep groove still there, so you can't do anything by accident wrong. Just work. Here now standard 3 fletchings. I don't know if you can have them in 4, and you see that the feathers are already a little away, so you don't. Of course, they are not that far away as for the horse archer arrows from Alibow, but they are still far enough away that they don't interfere with most things you do. Even when I hold them here, see that? It's just, I just barely touch the top of the feathers. So even this one, oops, fine. So cool, very cool. Go check them out. I said I don't know the prices now and nothing, but you just check it out and then you see, and you go from there. Thank you very much, Alibow, for sending me 3 each. You know, this old saying goes, always 12 arrows each. It's fine, I need to order. I will order. Because I think this is the future of carbon arrows, or in general for archery, or for what I do, at least. So, thank you, Alibow, and stay tuned for the K1 will come soon. The Yara version 1.1 will come, and I will compare them a little to the version 1 I have already. Yeah, and then for the rest, just stay tuned. Thank you very much for watching. Catch you in the next one.